Stephen, a win over at Rangers at under-20s level is rare, so you must be delighted with your team's performance and result.
I am. You know, when you tend to come up against likes of Rangers and Celtic and Aberdeen, who are supposedly the best sides in this league, and probably over the last 3 or 4 seasons they have been. You have to work hard. Your shape has to be good. Players have to understand the rules. But ultimately, when you land on the ball, you still have to do something with it. And I just felt first half there were so many good things, but we kept on doing all our good work by giving the ball away and giving it up cheaply and trying the harder pass. But we had 3 16-year-olds out there today who started, with a 15-year-old who came on. So for them to put that level of commitment and desire into the game, but also show the quality, is really, really pleasing. So irrespective of who it's against, just the fact that we've won the game with such a young side gives me heart for the future. A few young boys like David Turnbull, 16, it's probably his best game for me. Dylan Faulkner, 16, best game. And Jake Hasty, who won us the penalty, probably his best game for Motherwell. Young Barry Maguire as well. Barry's only played 7, 8 under 20 games, so it's a learning experience for them. But when they get opportunities, I keep saying to them, they have to use that opportunity and show me what they're made of, and I thought today they did.
Given the youthfulness of your team, are you pleased with the shape that they managed to maintain through the game? Because sometimes youthful exuberance takes over and people get dragged away out of position, but all throughout the 90 minutes they retained their position and restricted Rangers to little. Yeah,
it's tough, but we've had so many games in such a short space of time that we seem to be having team meetings every second day, and the tactics seem to change and the information seems to change. But what I've said to him is, the information that I probably give them today was just stuff it's just been refreshed from earlier in the season. And I said to him, it'll be interesting to see how many can retain that information, how many have remembered it from earlier in the season, and I thought they did. Ultimately, defensively you have to be well organised. You're up against a good player in Ryan Hardy, who plays for Scotland, Jordan Thompson, who I've had with Northern Ireland. Good players who can open you up, can cut you open, who want to come out from the back and do things. So you have to keep your shape. You have to remain diligent in what you do. You have to talk to each other. You have to slide across, and from that point of view, it was excellent. But I thought we also had a few chances. We didn't really give Rangers an awful lot of opportunities. They had 2 in the first half where I said, look, he took too many touches and got caught in the ball. Ross McLean overran the ball in the first half. That was only really 2 opportunities they had. They had one towards the end of the second half, but they're going to do that because they're pushing for something out of the game. But overall, as an exercise in how we played, really, really pleasing.
You were delighted with the way you won the penalty as well. It was a good ball at the top by Alan Campbell, sent Jake Hasty on the scamper, but he had to show a lot of commitment to get into that position, use his body strength, get across his man as well. It was everything from a coach's point of view you'll be telling your players to do all the time.
Well, Jake's such a strong runner. He's had a little bit of an injury and he's missed a few games. After 10 minutes you can see him, he's breathing, he's desperate for a second wind, he can't get his breath in the game, but once he settles and once you leave him 1v1, I fancy him against anybody. He's got a little trick, he wants to go past people. He's only 16, as I've already said. He's only young, he's still finding his way in the game, but you get him 1v1 in the final third. That determination up against an experienced or a more experienced defender to get his body across, to put his body in a position to be hit and win the penalty is very, very clever. So he was great. Up and down that line, it's a tough shift. I told him that as a winger. Him on one side and Ross McLean, it's very, very tough. You have to track your runners back. You've got to cover a lot of distance. When you win the ball, you're expected to carry it 40 yards forward. When you lose it, you're expected to get back in. So from that point of view, him and Ross were very, very good.
And I know we've talked about the defensive shape, but I would be remiss of us to not say 2 clean sheets in the 1 week as well. At times you've had defending both games. That must be pleasing as well, that 20s games are noted for goals all over the place, but as a coach I'm sure you would like to see 1-0s all the time.
Well, of course you do, but that's part of Luke Watt for me is starting to grow into a proper player. He's starting to look like a proper defender. Yes, he still takes little risks now and again, but his general defending is better. His winning of the ball, his heading. Barry Maguire's been much better as well. Jack McMillan all the time for me is always a very solid defender, and young Adam Livingston, who it's difficult at times because Adam doesn't play an awful lot of games. So to come in a game like this with the tempo it was, to stick to your task, and you normally tend to find the best players in the opposition are normally the centre forward, the guy who plays the number 10 role, and the 2 wide players. So your back 4 or back 5 are going to have to defend 1v1 situations, and I felt they'd done that. They'd done it against St Johnstone. They won first balls, they won second balls. So pleasing as a coach to get a clean sheet, but I think more than pleasing is just to go and win the game.
And just finally, you'll be keen to keep this going. Dundee United coming Tuesday with a cup semi-final still to come. I suppose the message to your players is let's just keep this run going.
Well, it is. It's when there's big games coming up and there's games on the horizon, players want to play in them. And they've proven to me today that they can play 20s, irrespective of age. They've shown they can play 20s. They've now put a little doubt in my mind of what's my best under 20 team. Who do you play in the cup game? Who do you play on Tuesday? So as a coach and as a manager, that's what you want. So all you can ask for them is to go and give the commitment, show the qualities that they have, and try and take the information on board, and they've done that.
Stephen, thank you and well done.
Thank you.